what's up guys? Welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Hope you guys are doing well today. I'm going to be diving into another piece. We're going to be looking at this Omega automatic that is from the 1950s. It's a gold toned watch. I think is a perfect dress watch if you are looking for something like that. I'm always infatuated with Omega's watches from the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s. I think they made some incredible pieces that have really diverse looks to them. Furthermore, I think this watch is pretty significant when it comes to the history of Omega. It's using a caliber that was pretty integral to the automatic movements that Omega produced early on in their brand, and so I'm pretty excited to show you this. I'm also going to be removing the case back, which is, again, a disclaimer at the beginning of the video. I'll also do it when we flip perspectives, but I do not recommend removing the case back of any of your watches. But if you want, we'll be showing you the movement inside of this piece, because I do think it's quite cool to look at a movement and really realize the industrialization of movements. Omega produced over 1 million. They produced like 1,300,000 of the movements that is in this case, and so I think it's a good movement to sort of look at and really show the success of the brand. So pretty excited to show you this piece. So without further ado, let me flip perspectives so you can take a look at this watch. All right, today we're going to be looking at this Omega automatic. Again, you're going to have to bear with me with the camera the camera focus. I'm still getting used to using it, but what we're going to be looking at today is this Omega that I think is a really nice example of the classic watchmaking or classic looking watches that Omega produced in its history. The watch that we're looking at today is a watch from the 1950s, and I think if you're looking for something a little bit on the dressier side, I think this is a great example of something like that. Omega produced many watches throughout the 1950s with very similar aesthetics, very similar sort of sizes of their watches. This 35mm, 18mm lug width watch was a common size that they used at this time, and so I'm going to sort of show you this watch. I also would like to open up this watch, which I do not recommend that you do if with your own watches, but I do want to show you the movement of this piece because I do think it is quite interesting to take a look at in the metal. So the watch that you see in front of you here is an Omega automatic. I apologize for the focus there. Make sure I get this focus. It's an Omega automatic from the 1950s. The watch is 35mm in diameter, and the watch is 14 karat yellow gold filled. If we see on the see if I can get the focus here on the case back here, you'll see 14 karat yellow gold filled written on the case back there. 35mm watch, and for me is the definition of the incredible watches that Omega produced in their history and continue to produce now. If you look at the watch, complications on this piece are hours, minutes, and seconds. You can see a sub-seconds dial right at 6 o'clock. And really is all the complications that you really need if you're looking for something that's kind of like an everyday wear. I also think this is not too complicated. You can still have fun wearing this piece. Case is 14 karat yellow gold. You'll also see that the dial of this piece is also has a gold tone to it. It's a refinished dial, but it's a gold tone dial with Breguet numbers at 3, 9, and 12, which is something that really captured my attention when I saw this watch. I love the numerals on this piece. I think it's really attractive, and then you have these sword hand hour markers that are not at 3, 12, and 9. Which I think is really good looking. Applied Omega logo with Omega automatic at 12 o'clock. Really smooth complication. You can see the turning of this crown is pretty seamless, and it is a really fun watch to wear. I'll put it on my wrist really quickly so you can sort of see the size of it. I'll take off the piece that I'm currently wearing, which is actually a really beautiful Le Coultre triple calendar. We'll cover that in another video, but if we put this piece on, give me 1 second. this piece on your wrist, you can see really fits the wrist quite nicely. Proportion wise, it's really nice. Lugs are kind of pretty standard for Omega. Apologize for the focus here. I want to make sure I get a good image of this. You can see pretty nice and slim on the wrist, and fits really nicely. It's 35 millimeters, which isn't the size for everyone. I'd say that you know if 35 millimeters fits on your wrists or not. So that's something that you would want to consider. You can also see, I didn't show you the sides of this case, but signed Omega gold. It's a gold toned crown. Again, I apologize for the focus here. Let me get this going. Jeez, really struggling today. I apologize, everyone. Gosh. Come on. There you go. Gold signed crown with the Omega logo. Case is in pretty good condition. It's signs of wear. You know, this is a 70-year-old watch, but still in fairly good condition with nothing too drastic. The watch itself is running on the caliber 342. It's a bumper movement, which is actually pretty iconic in the the history of Omega. So this is one of the first series of the automatic movements that was produced by Omega. The bumper automatic movement was developed off of the caliber 28.10 RAPC. From that movement, a bumper automatic movement was developed into the 330 series of movements, which included the 332, which was in some of the first Omega Seamasters that were produced in 1947 and 1948. The movement that is in this watch is the caliber 342, which was part of the same series and iterated off of the same movement that I mentioned previously, and was introduced in 1949 and was produced all the way through 1955. 42 hours of power reserve, and was part of the Omega's automatic movements, and they produced over 1 million watches with this specific movement, and about 500,000 of those movements were all chronometer certified, which is pretty incredible feat for a watch movement to have so much success and used so widely in Omega's lines of watches. They were used heavily in the Omega Seamasters and the Constellation watches of that time. So a very significant movement for Omega. And what's pretty cool is this is one of the Omegas that I have in for the store, but I also have this Omega here, and ironically, let me see if I can get this guy to focus. Ironically, this guy also has the same movement, which I think shows how frequently the movement was actually used by Omega. So more to come on the piece that I have here, but what I thought I would do is to actually show you the movement now. So give me a second and I'll remove the case back. And I'm excited to show the other Omega that I mentioned, because I do think it's a nice. It's kind of fun to compare the two watches, and also just like think about when the movements were produced, etc., etc. So if you look here, we've now got the movement out here, and like I mentioned, it's a bumper movement. I can demonstrate that to you now. But what you're seeing here is the caliber 342. I'd like to get a nice close-up for you so you can see it. But there's your movement right there. And as you can see, the bumper movement is essentially a version of the automatic movement where it doesn't go completely, this rotor does not go completely in 360 degrees, but it actually has bumpers on the side that allow for the mainspring to be wound. You can see the nice balance wheel over there doing its thing. Omega signatures on the rotor as well, which I think is a really nice touch. And then I will attempt to give you a view of the 342, the text of the 342 if I can get the camera here to focus. Again, I apologize. This is only the second video that I'm doing with this camera, so please excuse my bad camera skills here. Gosh, really bad. I apologize. Hopefully, as I use this camera a little bit more, I'll be able to get these videos made in a much more seamless manner. But if you look right at the left side over here of the watch is where you'll see an Omega logo and 342 signed. If I can just get this to focus, you can kind of see it there. But nice movement, in really great condition, running super well. And then obviously you have your case back here of the watch. Let me just put this guy back on. But yeah, like I mentioned, I think this is a little bit more towards the dressier side of things if you are looking for something that you can wear dressier. However, I don't think it is, I don't think it's completely disqualified from something that you could possibly wear every single day, as long as you're okay with having that gold tone case, which to some it totally fits their lifestyle, to some it might not. I think that's just a decision you have to personally make when it comes to wearing these types of watches. Either way, I think you can have a lot of fun with this piece. Right now it's on this Heli Roma black strap. I do think that you could probably find some other straps to go with this. I think like a brown crocodile would look really nice. Don't really see this being a watch you'd probably put like something a little bit sportier like a NATO, but I do think it looks nice. I also think if you had some sort of like beads of rice bracelet, it would also look very nice with that too. So as I mentioned, this watch is available in our store. We also will have an article for this piece. If you are interested in reading more about it, you can head over to Life on the Wrist to see both the listing for this watch and this piece as well on our store. So hope you guys enjoyed seeing a little bit of a close-up, and I'll switch perspectives so we can close out the video today. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this Omega automatic. I really enjoyed kind of walking you through the history of this piece, the caliber that is used inside of this watch, and showing you some close-ups of the movement and the case and dial itself. Like I mentioned, this watch is available in our store, so if you are interested in it, be sure to head over to lifeonthewrist.com and you can check out our store where this one is available. We'll be doing another video of the other Omega that you saw in this video, which uses the same movement as this one, which is pretty significant, I'd say. It shows the stretch of the caliber 342 that you saw in the video. We'll also have an article on our website if you are interested in reading more about this watch and learning about the movement. You can check that out on the editorial section of our website. Be sure to let me know in the comment section below what you think about this watch. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you like watches. We cover a range of topics about watches, so stay tuned for more content from us. Share this video with one of your friends who might be interested in watches, and if you wouldn't mind giving us a thumbs up on this video, it really does help us out with our YouTube analytics. With that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time.